many offensive rebounds, and it's all really a mentality, and it's about effort. And there's been a lot of visual teaching, a lot of film watching by our squad over the last couple of days.
Well, I think you've just got to go out and do it. The Mercury are last in offensive rebounding and 11th in defensive rebounding and overall rebounding. So other players need to step up, whether it's from the weak side, or players sometimes will say, oh, we don't know when they're going to take a shot. Well, you know, if you have the mentality to say we're going to go get the boards no matter when the shot is taken, you're going to be around the ball.
So no Elena Deladon. She did not play last night in Seattle against the Storm as well.
Well, Deladon is their leading scorer in rebounding, averaging over 16 points and 7 rebounds. But without her and Cloud, that's 25 points, almost 10 rebounds, and almost 8 assists between those two, missing for the Mystics.
Yeah, and a former MVP in the WNBA. Taurasi goes cross court. Breon January into the lane, flips it up.
Now, a tough shot. Not enough ball movement on that possession.
Talked about the fourth quarter meltdown for the Mercury in Los Angeles against the Sparks on Sunday as Tolliver connects. But the Mercury scored only 7 points and had 10 turnovers in that fourth quarter, an 8-point loss to the Sparks in Los Angeles on Sunday.
It was pretty embarrassing. I mean, you could see the lack of focus and again, kind of some bad passes by the Mercury starting off in these first two possessions.
So what makes Mike Thibault so great as a head coach? He is the winningest coach in WNBA history, 3-time Coach of the Year. As the Mercury go inside off the inbounds play to Duana Bonner. Now, Brondella was talking about how much freedom that Thibault has given his players, including his young rookies.
Well, you know, when he was 29 years old, he became a scout for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he was in the NBA for a long time, and there's a nice pass by two veteran players with Taurasi to Bonner. And Mike Thibault really respects his players. He's tough on them. He demands a lot. He's not a cursor, but he can get fiery. And I think a lot of players throughout his career, when he was in Connecticut for so many years and now here in Washington, he's just really done a great job.
Crystal Thomas setting the pick for Tolliver.
Griner got a piece of that.
Deflected by Brittany Griner.
Well, Griner now with 11 blocked shots, and Cam Beige has the most with 14.
And then going right to work at the offensive end. Griner with the block and then the 2 points at the other end.
Now the Mystics are really going to struggle unless they can double or triple team Griner and get the ball out of her hands.
Mercury have had some good starts here at home, including their last home game when they took a double-digit lead in the first quarter, but then gave it up.
Nice pass.
Inside to Crystal Thomas off the feed from Ariel Atkins.
And the Mercury have to remember that Atkins is left-handed. She goes up in the air, looks like she's going to pull up for a 15-footer, and the dive down to the basket by Hawkins.
Bonner has struggled with that three-point shot, but down it goes from the corner. Coming into this game, Bonner was only 2 of 19 deep, missing 17 of her 19 three-point attempts.
Well, she had a double-double in that very first game against Dallas, and maybe kind of overconfident and maybe too high expectations because she's still kind of struggling to get herself back into it.
Hawkins throws it right into the awaiting hands of Sancho Little. Little played superbly in Los Angeles against the Sparks, leading the team in scoring with 20 points. Puts it on the floor. She loves that straightaway bank. From 5 or 7 feet, she always goes for that pop-a shot. Atkins has the range, and down it goes for 3 for Ariel Atkins, the rookie from Texas, 7th overall pick in the first round.
Washington doing a nice job getting the ball down the floor quickly, and you could see the Mercury a little bit slow to get back.
Little skip pass to a wide-open Breon January. Same spot where Bonner just hit.
Now, it could be an up-and-down game. It could be close, and then at the end, you hope, as a Mercury fan, that they can spread it out a little bit because Washington is so short, but Tolliver is just a gutty player. I mean, she's such a veteran and gets her shots from all over. Averaging
15 points this season. She is their leading scorer on the floor right now with Deladon out. But Tolliver can certainly score. Has a 43-point game in her career and also set the WNBA record with 9 threes made in a playoff game last season against New York. Flipped in by Hawkins, Tiana Hawkins, the 5th-year player from Maryland. Tied up at 11. The Mercury hit their first 2 threes. So far, Washington 1 of 2 deep. Breon January coming over in a deal from Indiana with the Fever. Takes it back from Griner. Behind the line. And rebounded by Crystal Thomas. Crystal had a 16-rebound game against her former team, the Mercury, last season. Tolliver, nifty behind the back dribble. Kills it. Now Atkins with 10 on the shot clock. They go to Crystal Thomas. One-on-one against Sancho Little. Nowhere to go. Shoots over Little. Great defense. And one of the reasons why the Mercury went out and signed Sancho Little during the offseason, one of the better defenders in the league. Griner, quick move, baseline, chance at a three-point play.
Well, first of all, on the defensive end, you notice that Brittany Griner at 6'9" is defending Hawkins. And so they're kind of leaving her on the weak side, but she gets the ball outside the lane and able to put the ball on the floor. She's got Hawkins defending her. And even though Hawkins at her size, 6'3", not able to quickly stay with Griner on that baseline.
Griner, who led the WNBA in scoring last year, 22 points per game. She was in the MVP conversation until she was injured late in the season, ankle and knee problems, and finishes off the three-point play. She's averaging 19 so far for Phoenix.
You know, a big part of her game, too, is getting to the free throw line. The loss at home against Seattle, she only had 3 free throws, and she got into foul trouble against Dallas and against LA, where she had 5 fouls in those 2 games. So she stays out of foul trouble. She becomes aggressive and gets herself to the free throw line. She's got a better opportunity to get more points.
And Sandy Brondello wants to see more opportunities for rebounding from Griner, who at 6'9" is averaging only 6 boards per game.
Well, she led the team last year with over 7 a game, and that was high certainly for BG. But you got to have other players help her out. It cannot just be on her shoulders.
Mystics had a home win over the Minnesota Lynx on Sunday after trailing 24-6. It was 24-6 Lynx in the first quarter, but Washington rode their bench, 58 points coming off their bench. And the Mystics also knocked down 15 threes in that game. Taurasi on the drive. Down goes Hawkins, and it's an offensive foul on Diana Taurasi.
Sandy Brondello saying she was in the lane. She was in the circle.
She appeared to be very deep inside that lane.
And that's the first shot for Diana Taurasi in this game. And it certainly looked like she was going to get to the free throw line. I think she thought she was going there.
Taurasi had a quiet night in Los Angeles, 11 points. Back home there in California, Hawkins off balance, rebounded by Little. Duana Bonner.
That time, Little guarding Hawkins and making it tough for her.
Bonner almost had it picked. Gathers, pops out.
She has those long strides and able to go up and under.
Tolliver from deep, nothing but net for Christy Tolliver.
Yeah, there is
unlimited range.
Exactly, there is no range for her. She crosses half court, she's ready to cork it up there.
45% from deep so far this season. Came in 14 of 31 from behind the line. Griner dips in on 2 defenders and scoops it home. Impressive move by Brittany Griner. Strong start, hitting her first 3 shots.
Yeah, very tough and not able to use the backboard there, but got the bounce to go in.
Mercury shooting 55% from the field, 7 for Griner, 6 for Duana Bonner, and January has knocked down a 3. 4.5 to go here in the first quarter. Tolliver, Ruffin Pratt takes aim, and she hits the 3. 3 of 4 deep now for Washington.
Yeah, Ruffin Pratt, 4 of 12. That's only the 5th 3 she's hit this year.
Oh, down hard goes 3 on January. Sandy Brondello did not go deep on her bench in Los Angeles against the Sparks, but when we come back, 3 reserves will come into the game for Phoenix. You're watching Phoenix Mercury basketball, presented by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Join Scorch and members of the Mercury Hip Hop Squad at the Bake Bear in Gilbert, Monday, June 11th from 6 to 7 p.m. Stop by and grab a delicious custom ice cream sandwich and enter to win Mercury tickets and prizes. Receive 10% off your purchase when you arrive wearing Mercury gear. Have you had Bake Bear, Annie? You're not usually out there for the Suns pregame show with Tom Chambers and I.
No.
When we get free Bake Bear, it is the bomb. Oh my gosh, is it
I
good.
can see TC.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I get a couple scoops in and then he grabs mine. TC being Tom Chambers, the former Suns legend. Well, he's a current legend.
He's always going to be a legend.
Yeah.
In his own mind.
Yeah,
no.
Oh, yeah.
In our mind,
18-16. It's a good first quarter. Accurate three-point shooting. 2 very good teams that both made it into the playoffs last year. Griner put it on the floor, lost it on the way up.
Mystics 7 of 10 from the floor. And that's what Griner's got to recognize, that you've got a collapsed defense on you. Somebody's got to be open.
Oh, look at that shot. Tolliver with the left hand. That was Steph Curry-esque. Both these teams 18 and 16 last year, making it into the playoffs. Elimination wins over Dallas and New York for the Mystics, and a couple of elimination games for Brittany Griner and the Mercury as well, as they beat Seattle and then Connecticut. So, boy, their seasons mirrored each other last year. Same regular season record, 2 elimination wins, and then being swept in 3 games, Mercury by LA, Washington by Minnesota. That's almost eerie. 2-point Mystics lead nearing the 3-minute mark here of the first quarter. Griner, they dare her to shoot. Straight and sweet for Brittany Griner. She has not missed in 5 attempts. 11 points for Griner.
Griner has got great range, and Turner getting picked off at half court.
Turner then pops right back up and comes away with the steal. Here comes Bonnie Turner. On the push, lays it up, and Griner may have been pushed from behind, and was by
and
the
DeWanna
former
Bonner
member of the Mercury,
was wide
Monique
open.
Curry.
DeWanna Bonner was wide open in the corner, and Turner just got locked in. I think that pick at half court nailed her, but she comes back defensively and does a great job with the steal. But I think she was so dazed and just seeing Griner in front of her, and really was a tough pass for Griner to get. So fortunately for the Mercury that they get the ball back.
Perfect example, though, of the energy that Bonnie Turner brings this Phoenix Mercury team. And they're needing more production off the bench, including from Leilani Mitchell, who has not hit a shot in the last 3 games. That was not close for Turner. Leilani Mitchell has been a spark plug off the bench in the past for Phoenix, but over the last 3 games has missed all 8 of her shots. There she is with the rebound. Little 5'5" point guard out of Utah. Beautiful pass up ahead to Stephanie Talbot.
Stephanie Talbot, in her second year from Australia, has got a lot more confidence. You know, last year, I mean, she's still a young player and understanding the game, and so was nervous, but started 24 games last year, but really seems a lot more relaxed.
Hines Allen
nice
goes to the
step
left
through.
hand, and she has that in her repertoire, and now puts it in with her right hand.
Well,
she is equally as confident with her left or right hand in the paint.
What you like, though, is she gets inside. She has great position. She goes up, and if she misses, she's still there in position. And the other thing she does is she goes up with 2 hands.
Not bad for a second-round pick, 19th overall in the draft. Just shy was Griner on that jump shot, tied up at 22.
Well, that's where somebody's got to rebound. You know that the shot is going up. That's a long shot by the time it goes up with Griner. Somebody's got to be an offensive rebounder.
Latoya Sanders dressing out for this game, seeing minutes here in the first quarter. Couldn't knock down that J. Turner tracks it down in the corner. Met by Hines Allen. Now out top, it's Leilani Mitchell. Sees Griner posting up inside, and that's a gimme for Brittany Griner. Posting up on the rookie, Maisha Hines Allen.
Well, a great mismatch for the Mercury, and a look inside for Griner.
6'2" Hines Allen, 6'9" Griner. Curry going for the strip, but coming away with a foul was Stephanie Talbot. So to the line goes the 35-year-old Monique Curry. Leilani Mitchell recognizing that mismatch quickly for Griner. And Talbot as well on the run out.
Well, as you said, a run out by Talbot, and the Mercury have to do that a lot more. Somebody's got to release. If you're not going to, you'll hopefully get the defensive rebound, but somebody's got to get out there, and the guards will get you the ball, and Talbot has always been a good athlete getting down the floor.
What a season it was last year for Monique Curry as she was traded from San Antonio back here to Phoenix, second go-around with the Mercury, but she played 36 games last year. You know, there's 34 in the regular season. She played 2 more than the max after that trade from San Antonio to Phoenix, and only 2 other players in history have done that in the regular season.
Yeah,
played more than the 34 games. Katie Smith and Renee Montgomery.
Yeah, she played 22 games here.
There she is with the strip. Curry bounces off of Talbot, trying to force it inside. They're going to call a blocking foul on Camille Little of Phoenix.
Little was in the circle, and Monique Curry a little bit out of control, but graduate out of Duke and from Washington. And so when she went back to the Mystics, she feels like she's back home, but you can clearly see that Little is in the circle.
Yeah, the heels were on the line for Camille Little. Apparently Mercury fans did not see that on the big screen.
Well, we didn't see the replay that Diana Taurasi got called for the charge. But Curry has always been good at getting herself to the free throw line. Very physical player.
Returning to the Mystics squad, where she played 8 seasons in Washington from 2007 to 2014. Final 35 seconds, knotted up at 24. Both teams shooting well over 50% from the field. Back cut, Vonnie Turner puts it in. Off the feed from Camille Little.
Yeah, good recognition by both Turner and Little, able to get that bounce pass.
Curry, quick pump fake. She lost it. Scooped up by Mitchell, and now Phoenix can take the final shot of the first quarter. Phoenix, 61% from the field. Washington, 56% shooting. Mitchell will take the three. And now a loose ball foul with 1.9 to go. It will go against Phoenix. And that's going to result in free throws for Washington. Vonnie Turner was assessed the personal foul. And so with 1.9 seconds to go, the Mystics will have a couple of free tosses. Here's the back cut.
Or not.
Or not. Walking down the alley. Never know what you might run into. Curry at the line for Washington, but that's a break for Washington. They didn't have enough time to get a decent shot off with under 2 seconds to go, so this is a nice little gift.
Curry, all her points at the free throw line, 3 of 5.
Tolliver leading the way for Washington with 9. Curry knocks him down. 13 for Brittany Griner in the first quarter. Final seconds from midcourt. Mitchell heaves it up and almost nailed it. We are done with one here at Talking Stick Resort Arena in Phoenix with the score. Phoenix 26, Washington 26. And you're watching Phoenix Mercury basketball presented by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. The shooting in the first quarter by both teams, all tied up at 26 between the Mystics and the Mercury here in Phoenix. And Phoenix must be aware, too, of the Mystics' magical second quarters. They have been really good in the second period.
Well, they have shot the ball really well in this first quarter. This is the first tie this season in the first quarter that the Mercury have not led in the first quarter. And so you look at that second quarter for the Mystics, a plus 7-6. Defensively, the Mercury have to put a lot more pressure on the Mystics.
We talked about Mike Thibault at the outset. We have not mentioned that Sandy Brondello is making her third attempt at career win number 100 as a head coach in the WNBA. 85 wins here in Phoenix, had 14 when she was the head coach in San Antonio. If and when that happens, she'll be the 7th fastest to 100 wins as a WNBA head coach. Diana Taurasi out there to begin the second quarter, and Annie, you mentioned too, the offensive foul took away that one and only shot attempt that she had.
Yeah, and so you'd like to see somebody like Diana Taurasi, who leads the league
Leads
in
the
all
world.
Scoring,
leads all women.
that you want to get her involved. You got to find some ways to come around screens. And one of the things they talked about in practice, you've got to set better screens to get our players open.
Camille Little lost it in the lane. And going back to Diana, too, she worked so hard during the offseason. She left her team in Russia in December, had a minor injury, but also to be with Penny Taylor as they welcomed in their baby Leo. But then she went to LA and worked so hard. We talked about this in the opener. And even Diana said she pushed herself to the limit. She looks like she's lost 10 or 15 pounds. She won't put a number on it, but she feels stronger, more flexible coming into this season. Oh, it is surprising to see even just one quarter where she doesn't get a shot attempt up.
The Mystics continuing to be red hot in shooting the basketball.
Taurasi whips it over now to Camille Little. On the deck, contact, and the bucket. She was the only Phoenix player to start all 34 games last year. They bring her back, and Camille Little producing off the bench.
Now, good penetration. She creates the contact on Crystal Thomas and gets that shot to go. That last possession, she got the ball stolen away, and this one she made up for it.
Yeah, playing and starting all 34 games last year. Now coming in off the bench as she's replaced by the other Little, Sancho Little. So they have bookend Littles here in Phoenix, Camille and Sancho. Camille giving the Mercury a 29-28 one-point lead.
Yeah, Marie Gulich, it's good to see her in there, and I think certainly Sandy Brondello felt that she had a better opportunity maybe to be successful in this game.
Dee's first shot, in and out for three. Walker Kimbrough is out there as well for Washington. Pass up ahead, Crystal Thomas batted away. Heads up defensive play by Diana Taurasi. Back comes Tiana Hawkins.
And that was good communications because Gulich was under the basket and she was yelling, somebody pick up my player, and Taurasi was already back on defense and did a nice job breaking it up.
Wheel play out of bounds. Now they get it to Hines Allen against the rookie Gulich. Steps back, 15-footer. Just comes out, but an offensive rebound, and that will not make Sandy Brondello happy. Offensive rebound by Ruffin Pratt. Pratt goes right at Leilani Mitchell, who felt she was vertical, but busted for the foul.
Now, Ruffin Pratt at 5'11" has great size, not only on height, but weight. And she goes up and she is hit on the arm, even though Mitchell is straight up. The contact is made.
That's the kind of play that Sandy Brondello was talking about. Off a missed shot. Who was hustling after it along the baseline, running after that offensive rebound was Ruffin Pratt. And she said after looking at so much tape, there's just too much standing and watching by the Mercury defenders. They have to finish that defensive possession.
Yeah, and it's not even a matter of going after it. You've got to go after the red jerseys. You've got to block out because they're facing the basket. They can see what's going on. You as a defensive player, you've got to turn and you've got to find that offensive player and keep them off the boards. Sometimes you've got to not go after the rebound, but you've got to go after the offensive player.
Washington now 6 of 10 from the line. Mercury have taken 3 free throws and hit them all. Sancho Little from the elbow. Gulich chasing the offensive rebound. Fresh 14 for Phoenix. Breon January picked up by Curry. Sancho steps up straight away. No. Grabs the miss and cleans up.
Huge hustle plays by the Mercury.
First hoop for Sancho Little in 5 attempts, coming off that 20-point game in Los Angeles. Taurasi throwing it off of Hawkins, and Phoenix will have possession.
Well, Sancho Little was so good against the Sparks the other night, did not miss many as she had her season-high 20 points, misses 2 in a row, but comes back with a nice offensive glass. But then Diana Taurasi comes down and really makes a smart defensive play.
Christy Tolliver has a big smile on her face. She just was reprimanded for trying to come in before they introduced her, before the referees allowed. She's like, you know how long I've been in this league. I don't need a lecture. That was a great look. Daryl Humphrey, the official. 7 minutes to go until halftime. 2-point Phoenix lead. Neither team has led by more than 4. 3 seconds on the shot clock for Gulich, the rookie out of Oregon State. Little, Sancho Little almost had another offensive rebound.
And one of the reasons the Mercury is struggling, Tom, is that they're standing. Nobody's setting picks. They're kind of waiting. And again, in practice after the LA game, coaches were a little perturbed at the players and said, you know, you guys got to focus a little bit more. And so yesterday in practice, they were running a lot of drills that they had to run 3 to 4 picks before you could even look at a shot. But right now, they're not setting good picks.
Had a couple of fourth quarter collapses over the last couple of games. Sandy Brondello and the Mercury won their first 2 games. They're at home over Dallas, then winning at Seattle. They come back, lose to the Storm, and then lost in Los Angeles to the Sparks. Taurasi hit with a personal.
That's a tough call. I'm not sure whether she did or didn't. The ball was flat off the shot.
And that's number 3 on Taurasi. 3rd personal foul on Taurasi. She may have to come out of the game.
And she does not have a point. She's 0 for 1.
And in will come Yvonne Turner to replace Taurasi. He's taken only that 1 shot. And he talked about a couple of assists for Taurasi, but 3 fouls heading to the bench. Frustrating first half for Dee.
You know, a lot of times she gets herself in those foul situations where the opposing team will get a fast break situation going, and she's at half court, and she just reaches out to stop the fast break, which I love. I wish another player would do that rather than her, because sometimes she gets, unfortunately, in foul trouble.
Deep 3 by Bonner. You're right. It's a savvy play until you start picking up too many fouls and send you to the bench. And Phoenix really needing her offense right now. Scored only 5 points in the quarter. Both teams really struggling offensively.
They're calling a kick ball on the Mercury, so it's not a jump ball. It goes to the Mystics. Now you look for the Mercury to make some defensive stops here.
Again, if you're just joining us, no Elena Deladon for Washington, sent home with an illness. She did not play last night in Seattle and missed half that game against the Lynx at home. Rebound by Bonner.
Mystics were down 11 last night against the Storm, and they came back, and they were right in the thick of things in that game.
Natasha Cloud also out with the kidney stones, and we've got a timeout. 5:57 to go until halftime, and you're watching Phoenix Mercury basketball, presented by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 31 here from Talking Stick Resort Arena. Enter to win a clinic with the Phoenix Mercury. Tell us why your basketball team is a hashtag Steward Star and win a free clinic with Phoenix Mercury players and coaches. Visit phoenixmercury.com/stewardstars to enter. So on the positive side for Phoenix, 11 assists on their 13 field goals, but Washington has taken 9 more free throw attempts than the Mercury.
And you look at the Mercury, size-wise, why are they not going more inside? Brittany Griner, 13 points in the first quarter. She does not have any in this second quarter. And the fact that Washington, which is an outside shooting team, they're getting to the free throw line. Mercury have to do a better job getting inside. Nice back door.
Tolliver couldn't finish. Hawkins plowing inside. Once, then twice, goes off the foot of Phoenix. And Washington will still have it.
Now the Mystics having plenty of opportunity to have that ball fall in, and they don't give up on the play, and it comes right back to them.
14-12 rebound advantage right now for Washington.
Are they calling a foul?
You know what? I have no idea what the discussion is about. I don't think there's a foul.
Natalie Sego, yeah. Natalie Sego had put her hands up, and I think they called it back, so.
Quick shot by Ruffin Pratt. Saved by Bonner.
Yeah, Ruffin Pratt has that flat shot.
Washington coming in 4-1, tied for the second best record in the WNBA as Griner was blindsided.
How about Atkins? Great hustle play, and then throws it right to Turner.
Second best record in the league with Seattle. Connecticut so far perfect 3-0. Turner through the lane, sets up January. Got it. 3-point hit for Breon January.
And that was all off defense and then the penetration by Turner.
Now 9 of 13 3-point shooting for Breon January this season. Back comes Christy Tolliver. Breon January 2 of 4 now, 3-point shooting. But coming into this game, she's been sensational. She was 8 of 12 deep. So now make that 10 of 16 after that last make. Griner.
Somebody
quick
cut.
Double team. Skip pass in the corner for Bonner.
Well, you can see Washington right now. The Mystics, Tom, are just coming right down on Brittany Griner, and we're going to see the shot by January. But good penetration by Turner, and then kicks it out. And January all the time in the world. But really, the Mercury right now, the Griner's got to get the ball and look to pass to a cutter, because those long passes, which has happened in the past, the Mystics can step right in and with a steal.
And January needs to keep shooting. She has been a lethal offensive weapon, though very judicious in her shot attempts. But that's a player that led the league in 3-point attempts a few years ago, 3-point shooting, I should say.
Well, especially with Diana Taurasi out of the game and no points whatsoever.
Another offensive rebound. January takes the big hit, no whistle. It pops out for Hawkins. Wow, letting him play inside. January went down hard. A head snap back, and she is questioning why there was no foul called. She's She's had some practice working on the referees as an assistant coach now at ASU.
Well, January always has had that linebacker mentality and takes the hits, and but a good rebound by the Mercury to get the ball back.
31-year-old Breon January, 6 straight years making the all-defensive team. No other active player has done that. Griner spins, but they call it travel, saying she shuffled her pivot foot. Griner doesn't buy it. Griner still 6 of 7 from the field. Those were her numbers in the first quarter. Still with the 13 points, and Mercury fans voicing their displeasure. Not sure if it went over the air as loud as it was in my headset.
Well, if you're the Mystics, you got to feel pretty good about where you are right now in this game against the Mercury. Playing last night, having to get up at 4, taking a bus to the airport, and the ball is tipped in, and you can see Hawkins getting a hand on it.
Offensive rebounds.
Exactly. The Mystics are right all around the inside.
Foul called on Washington. You look at the personal fouls. 9 have been called on Phoenix. Now 7 against Washington. Atkins taking it in. And little was there, but just the outstretched arms and the hustle by Tiana Hawkins. Hawkins doing a lot of her work inside, but she has been spectacular three-point shooting. 50% deep over the last 4 games. 11 of 22. Again with Atkins as well and Tolliver.
No.
This team can erupt with the three-point shots. Bonner takes the feed, double team, steps back on the baseline. Little 8-footer for DeWanna Bonner.
Good patience by Bonner down low.
She's 3 of 5 shooting, 8 points for DeWanna. 3:15 to go until halftime. Atkins, southpaw floats it in. Pretty shot.
Well, the mentality of this Mystics team is everybody has the green light.
Atkins, 18 points last night against the Storm. 6 so far here against Phoenix. Griner in a crowd. Puts it home.
Yeah, tough shot by Griner. She's going to have to learn to keep that ball up a little higher.
15 now for Brittany. 13 of those coming in the first quarter. Tolliver has that quick release. Chance at a 4-point play. She was fouled on the release by Talbot. 1 free throw coming for Tolliver, and a chance at a 4-point play. It's a 2-point lead for the Mystics here in the second. Down to 3, Tolliver at the line, working on her 14 points, now give her 15, and she is an excellent free throw shooter.
The Mystics 4 of 7 from three-point range, shooting 57%, 3 of 10 for the Mercury, 30%.
Tolliver came in shooting 92% from the line. Rims out for Brittany Griner.
Yeah, you just can't miss those shots when you're that close to the basket. You've either got to keep the angle for the backboard or create contact and get yourself to the free throw line.
Washington has been selective with their three-point shooting. A blocking call on Leilani Mitchell.
Now
Only 7 three-point attempts. They've knocked down 4, though, so they're 57% from far away. And Phoenix in the penalty situation. Free throws coming for Atkins.
The Mystics doing a great job, Tom, as far as being aggressive. Not only that they have 7 offensive rebounds, 5+ more rebounds than the Mercury, but they're getting themselves to the free throw line because they're attacking with the ball. They're also setting good screens, so players are getting inside the lane.
And it's difficult too. You lose your leading scorer, Elena Deladon, no question about it. But that's also an opportunity for the rest of the players. More freedom to shoot, to put up their own point totals. And obviously they miss Elena Deladon. They need her for sure. Missing this game with an illness, but you see these other players taking advantage of that opportunity.
And a foul called for the Mercury, and that was because January set a good pick. Bonner waited for it. A lot of times the Mercury have a tendency to run through picks in the sense of whoever has the ball or who is ever cutting off the pick, they don't wait for the pick to get set. So they're leaving too soon, and you're not going to get open and take advantage of that screen.
Going back to that point about Deladon, though, it's been a very balanced attack. Actually, her scoring is down so far early in the season, 16.5 points per game. And in fact, the Mystics do not have a player in the top 15 in scoring. Deladon is at 16, so they really have been spreading it around. But again, here tonight without Elena Deladon, without Natasha Cloud, and more opportunities for the rest.
But it shows they were 4-0. with Deladon and with this team, and so they are balanced. They've got 5 games in 8 days, and with these 2 road trips.
Yeah, they'll be in Vegas Friday, and then back home to host Connecticut and Minnesota. And the Lynx have lost back-to-back games. Now 2-2 on the year. Pass deflected by Sancho Little on the chase, and Washington will have it. Minute 50 to go until halftime. Sancho Little is excellent at denying those passing lanes, leaving her feet, batting balls out of bounds. Diana Taurasi played with Sancho Little on their Russian team, so is just the consummate teammate.
She led the WNBA in steals. She is a 6-time defensive player, first team.
Atkins took a little push from Leilani Mitchell and still connected. Mitchell was attached to her hip, and then a sly little push on the release, but Ariel Atkins with 10 points. She's in double figures along with Christy Tolliver, who is leading the Mystics with 15. Griner, 15 to lead
Not a good
Phoenix.
pass. Not a good screen up top, and not a good pass.
Latoya Sanders was down there defensively. And Sanders has some length, 6'3". There you can see Leilani Mitchell with that left hand on the hip of Ariel Atkins, but all sorts of confidence for the 21-year-old. Had 14 points in their win over Minnesota. Griner, strong pick on Atkins, and now jump ball between January and Latoya Sanders.
You know, the Mercury finally get a good screen, and January loses the ball.
6'3", Latoya Sanders. And the 5'8", Breon January will jump it off. Next up for the Mercury, 3-game road trip up ahead, starting in Minnesota. The ball batted around, still free on the floor, and we're going to get another jump ball.
That was a smart play by January. She just backed off, and that shoulder got stuck in there, and hopefully she's going to be okay. Kind of an awkward landing, but Griner did a nice job tipping the ball back to January.
So now it will be January and Monique Curry jumping it off. 6-footer, Monique Curry. But a 3-game road trip ahead for Phoenix at Minnesota, then in Atlanta and New York. Curry taps it over to Sanders. Washington shooting 46% from the field, 57% deep. Into the front row goes Tolliver. Washington gets it back and Sanders scores. I was watching Tolliver. She may have hit the knee of one of the fans in the front row with her head. But she's back out there. Cross-court pass, a dangerous one, snagged by Mitchell. 45 seconds to go in the half. Cross-court pass, here comes Dwana Bonner. Pump fake, contact in the hoop. Veteran move by Dwana Bonner, the 30-year-old in her 9th year out of Auburn. Won a couple of titles here in Phoenix, an all-star in 2015, and you've talked about her patience too, waiting for the defense, taking her time and drawing the foul.
The Mystics doing a good job of just overloading wherever Griner is going, and the passes are going to have to be sharp from the Mercury if they're going to cross-court pass like that.
That's a timely three-point play for Phoenix after Washington assumed their biggest lead up by 7. Sanders on the screen and roll, wide open in the paint.
Griner is being taken out of the lane, and as you said, the lane is wide open for the Mystics taking advantage of it.
And Sandy Brondello wants to take a full timeout here to draw up a play. Phoenix needing a bucket, a little momentum going into halftime as they trail by 6 with 22.6 seconds to go until halftime. So really the story, Ann Myers-Drysdale, no Elena Deladon for Washington, and really no Diana Taurasi for Phoenix, picking up 3 fouls in the first half. She's only played 9 minutes, taken 1 shot and missed that. So a scoreless Diana Taurasi, the all-time leading scorer, has not had an impact in this game.
Yeah, Taurasi averaging 18 points this season so far, and as you said, took 1 shot in the second quarter, took another shot early in the first quarter, but was called for a charge, so they took that shot away. But Taurasi back into the game, and the one thing again, executing, spacing, setting good screens to get a player open.
Brondello calling that timeout. likely to put Diana Taurasi on the floor, and will beg her, if Washington gets possession back, not to commit a foul. Being defended right now by Walker Kimbrough. Taurasi on an island. High screen from Griner, who rolls, double team. Taurasi nowhere to go. Shot clock at 2, at 1 for Bonner. Couldn't dial it up. Rebound kicked around by Hawkins. Final seconds, not enough time for the Mystics, who will head to the locker room, leading Phoenix 49-43, led by the 15 points from Christy Tolliver. Ariel Atkins, the rookie, has 10, 15 for Griner, and Duana Bonner in double figures with 11. Diana Taurasi scoreless in the first half for Phoenix. Stay with us at halftime. Mercury players trade places with their partners at Fry's, and Diana Taurasi playing in a celebrity.
Most of the first half, Griner was double, triple teamed. Sometimes the whole team for the Mystics just collapsed on her. And right now for the Mercury, they're kind of standing on the perimeter, waiting for her to make a pass, and they're going to take an outside shot where, sometimes you got to get cutters to the basket. We said that Diana Taurasi, 0 points. Sancho Little, coming off a game where she had 20 points, has 2 points. She's 1 of 5. And certainly the boards have got to be a big concern for the Mercury.
Phoenix losing their last 2 games here at home to the Storm, in Los Angeles to the Sparks, after winning the first 2 of the season. Up and under in the hoop for Crystal Thomas to begin the second half. 7th-year player from Duke, now giving the Mystics their biggest lead, up by 8. Phoenix led by 4 at one point in the first quarter. One-handed finger roll comes off for Breon January.
But you see the Mercury standing around and watching. Nobody goes to get the rebound.
They're just not playing with any zip right now or any assertiveness at times. They're not pushing the ball up the floor consistently. Tolliver, quick cover there by January. Now off the screen, Griner tracking her. Tolliver scoops it over to an open Crystal Thomas, and she's hammered by Griner.
And that's where BG gets herself in trouble, her footwork. So she comes outside the lane, and as long as she is, her arms are tremendously long, but she gets caught off balance because she's so right-handed. That dribbler was dribbling to the right side. She's got to come around and swing and defend with the left hand, but she's all right-handed, so she was out of position the whole way.
One thing you have to like if you're Sandy Brondello, 13 assists for Phoenix in that first half, so they were moving the ball around and sharing it compared to the Washington Mystics, and they had just 7 assists. But again, they can rely on that three-point shot. They were more assertive. They went to the line 9 more times than Phoenix. And Crystal Thomas, who played here for the Mercury for a spell, knocking down the free throws. It is now a 10-point Washington lead. Mystics score the first 4 points of the third quarter. Phoenix taking their time, working it around the perimeter. No moves to the hoop just yet. Shot clock at 5. Pass intercepted. A poor possession by Phoenix. Up ahead. Shutdown was Atkins. Thomas, touch pass to Hawkins. Quick timeout, Sandy Brondello, and she needs it. 6-0 Washington to begin the second half, and their lead is 12. You're watching Phoenix Mercury basketball, presented by Casino Arizona at Talking Stick Resort. 6-0 start to the second half for the Washington Mystics. Fox Sports Arizona is where great moments happen and is proud to be the local television home of the Phoenix Mercury. For more information about the Mercury and the entire Arizona sports scene, log on to foxsportsarizona.com. Just no sense of urgency right now for Brittany Griner and this Mercury team.
Well, we talked about it in the very first game that Jim Pittman and Sandy Brondello wanted to bring in defensive players, and you got that with Breon January. Duana Bonner came back, and you got that in Sancho Little. Right now, the Mystics shooting 50% from the floor. They went on a 6-0 run starting out this third quarter.
And this is interesting, too. Really, the best shot attempt Phoenix has had in the half was Breon January driving in for the finger roll that just came off. Well, she was the one that was replaced out of that timeout. First points of the night for Diana Taurasi, a 3-point hit.
And if the Mercury can come back quick, it's going to be off Taurasi's open looks.
So Leilani Mitchell has come in for Breon January. Atkins answers the 3 from Taurasi. The 21-year-old rookie, Ariel Atkins, with 13 points. Nets her second 3-pointer.
Atkins shot 42% for Texas last year.
And shooting 44% right now in the WNBA. Actually, that number is going up. Those were her numbers coming into this game. Bonner launches a three. And all of a sudden, a three-point fest has broken out. Tolliver diving into the lane, scoping. Atkins hangs in the air and throws it out of bounds. One off the hands of Crystal Thomas.
Now, I think the Mercury were lucky on that because both Bonner at 6'5" and Griner at 6'9", both jumping up in the air, which they don't have to.
So let's see if Diana Taurasi now starts to take command of this team. She's going to initiate the offense. And she is now barking out instructions to Leilani Mitchell and almost turned it over. Screen and roll. They get it to Griner. Backing down on Crystal Thomas. Fades on the baseline and connects.
No, a big-time shot for her on that little fadeaway.
17 points for Brittany Griner. That was a frustrated Diana Taurasi at the outset of that possession. Back comes Christy Tolliver, and she drains a three.
She has not cooled off.
18 for Tolliver, 3 of 5 deep. Lead is back to 10. Mitchell hesitates and offline. Talked about her shooting woes. She's now 0 for 3 in this one. 0 for 8 in the previous 3 games, so she's missed her last 11 shots. Drive to the hoop for Christy Tolliver. She now has 20, and the lead is back to 12. Mitchell blocked by Thomas, but a whistle and a foul called on Crystal Thomas of Washington, and she does not agree with that call.
Well, right now, nobody for the Mercury can defend Christy Tolliver. Tolliver just, whether she's hitting a three-point shot, little hesitation right there, scoop shot, gets nice position over Mitchell.
And Griner's kind of caught in between defensively, whether or not to commit to the driver or cover outside on Crystal Thomas.
But that's footwork, too.
Yep. Well, and Thomas is not a big scoring threat. You would think she wants her presence felt defensively. Brittany Griner in the lane. Mitchell, maybe that'll get her going after missing 11 consecutive shots and having one blocked, but the foul called on Crystal Thomas.
And Tolliver is certainly making up for those points that Deladon is out with. She's got 20.
Phoenix has won 8 straight at home against Washington. Last victory for the Mystics here in Phoenix was back in 2010. They are leading by 10. 6:25 to go here in the third. Atkins, smooth operator, got it. Impressive rookie, Ariel Atkins, now with 15.
She's 5 of 8, 2 of 3 from threes, and 3 of 4 from free throw line.
Crossover, rising up for the jump shot. 3-point threat. Kind of like what they see in Washington. Sancho Little, wide left. Tolliver, eyes up, looking for an early opportunity. Atkins back over to Tolliver. There's that release, and the result, another 3-point hit for Christy Tolliver. 4 of 6 from far away. She now has 23. Another timeout called by Phoenix as the lead is 15 for Washington. Body language is not good right now for this Phoenix team. At the other end, Washington, all sorts of confidence, building a 15-point lead without their leading scorer, Elena Deladon.
Well, you think about the Mystics playing last night against Seattle, losing a close game, having to get up early this morning, a 3-hour flight down here to Phoenix from Seattle. They are, the thing about this league, you can never take advantage of one game from the other, thinking that you're going to come in and, you know, that team played a back-to-back and it was late in the travel situation or whatever, and every team in this league is dangerous. And we even talked about Minnesota losing some of the games that they've lost. And certainly Washington has come in here, and Tolliver is just taken over.
You see the numbers for the Mystics so far this season, quickly flashing up, but they had the 4-0 start, best in franchise history. A home win over the Lynx on Sunday when they trailed by 18 in the first quarter. They got 58 points from their bench in that game, knocked down 15 threes. And here tonight, they are 7 of 10 from deep, 70% from three-point land.
And who's going to be the player for the Mercury that steps up?
Well, Sandy Brondello designed to play there for Taurasi, but she couldn't find the range.
Yeah, not just on the offensive end, but the defensive end. I mean, somebody's got to start being that player. And Turner, who had her career high 3 steals in that first quarter, can she be a difference maker defensively?
Trying to slow down Atkins, and does with the foul. Yeah, there's no slowing down Ariel Atkins right now without throwing handcuffs on her. She is just tormenting Phoenix along with Tolliver. They have combined for 38 points. 38 of the 68. Here are those two working together. Atkins hits the ground and still sets up Crystal Thomas.
How about Crystal Thomas from the outside? I mean, obviously she's gotten better and matured as a player, and usually she's been inside, but Diana Taurasi not with the legs.
Back-to-back misses for Taurasi, but a long rebound. Phoenix has it back. Griner spins into the double team, rams into Atkins. No call, and Atkins is still down, along with Griner. Back the other way, Tolliver, contact in the lane there. And now just getting up is Ariel Atkins.
Well, that's a no call. And we saw in the last game, Brittany Griner caught an elbow in the LA Sparks game against Duana Bonner, and there's a spin move, and both players go down.
That was a head-on collision.
Well, the fact that the Mystics did not score, hopefully the Mercury can take advantage.
Griner shoots over the top of Thomas. Off the mark, and here comes Tolliver. Tolliver hounded by Yvonne Turner. Cutting
nice
through the
cut.
lane, open layup, and down it went. Pretty pass from the outside, and still down on the floor is Ruffin Pratt after scoring the hoop. Phoenix playing 5-on-4, and now Washington is forced to call a timeout.
Well, Mike Tebow wanted timeout with both his players going down, but they're not going to call it.
Tiara Ruffin Pratt still on her back, being attended to, and she is in some pain with 4:09 to go here in the third quarter.
Hopefully she's okay. We didn't see where she got hit.
19-point lead for the Mystics. Tebow complaining out on the floor, being told to head back to his bench. And we're going to time out, and we will take the break. It's going to be a 20-second timeout for Tebow, who is still fired up at the fact that Ruffin Pratt is still on the floor. It was a 6-point lead for Washington at halftime. It is now ballooned to 19, and good news for the Mystics as Ruffin Pratt is up off of the ground, but heading to their locker room.
Well, I think Mike Tebow probably wanted a foul because you can see Griner coming over late. He absolutely saw that.
No doubt.
That's what he wanted.
Yep.
And not to get anything called.
Yeah, Griner led with that right arm, whether it was intentional or not.
Well, we
made severe contact with Ruffin Pratt, who, as I mentioned, is heading to the Mystics locker room.
Well, Hawkins got called for a flagrant last night against Seattle trying to go through a screen, and the arm went up.
Yeah, that was really our first look at it. We were blocked from the action, so we couldn't really tell why Tiara was on the ground.
Eric Bruton coming over and checking. I thought that maybe they'd recheck that.
Yeah, they did not review it on the video monitor. And nearing the 4-minute mark, it's been all Washington here in the third quarter. Monique Curry defending Taurasi, pitches it inside to Bonner. A little shuffle step in the bucket for Duana Bonner. 16 now for Duana. Mercury led by Griner 17 on an efficient 8 of 11 shooting. Now Phoenix has to turn up the intensity on defense. Sweep behind the back feed, Tolliver to Hawkins, and she's rammed into by Camille Little and earns a ticket to the line. That is the second on Camille Little.
And the Mystics continue to get to the free throw line. 13 of 17 right now, where the Mercury 8 of 8. They had 2 free throws in the first quarter and 6 in the second quarter, none right now here.
Hawkins with 7 points and 9 rebounds. He's going after the double-double. Maisha Hines-Allen has been registering the double-doubles, back-to-back games for the rookie, who had 15 points and 13 rebounds in the win over the Lynx, and then followed that up with a double-double last night in Seattle against the Storm. Taurasi goes quickly to Brittany Griner, hits him with the right hook, and the lead is 16. 19 points now for Brittany.
Well, the Mystics are seeing that Tolliver is coming down right away, so who's ever guarding, or Tolliver is guarding, they've got to be aware that Griner's got to be open if that double team comes quick. And Diana Taurasi forcing the offensive foul by Sanders, Latoya Sanders, who played over in Russia with Brittany Griner and Christy Tolliver, where they won the European League Championship.
And there was the intensity on defense, sparked by Diana Taurasi, who always brings that emotion, one of the fiercest competitors you're going to see, but an unsuspecting Bonnie Turner was not looking at Diana Taurasi, who passed it out on the perimeter and went off of her foot out of bounds.
They were telling Turner to get out of the lane so Griner could get down low and get Tolliver out of there, and Turner came back up and just had her back to the basket, or back to the ball.
Lost possession, down 16. See if Washington can capitalize. Well, that was a shuffle step there. Looked like a travel for Tolliver. Instead, she hits the hoop and a chance at a three-point play. If we get another look at it, there was no question that that foot slid on the floor on the release.
Now her ability to handle the basketball going left and right, and certainly Little felt that it was an offensive foul as far as jumping into the defensive player, but you know, we've seen this time and time again that a lot of times the offensive player has that advantage.
That's just a heck of a shot, too, by Christy Tolliver. Travel or no travel, three-point play, and she has 26 points. Taurasi.
She wanted a foul. There was a lot of contact, and you know, the big thing now is get back on the defensive end. Mystics do a good job getting the ball out very quickly, and Taurasi banging into the screen.
And now asking for a foul at the other end after she put in just her second hoop of the night.
Well, there's contact there in the hands, and Hawkins gets it away. But anytime there's touch on Taurasi, she's going to force contact.
Yep. Turner. Good look from the baseline.
But everybody's standing around and watching. You know, when the shot goes up, you've got to go to the basket.
Nearing the 2-minute mark here of quarter number 3. Monique Curry steps back, launches it way too deep over the outstretched arm of Brittany Griner. You have that skyscraper in front of you, you're going to overshoot it sometimes, and she did by about 5 or 6 feet. Taurasi, straight
that was
but
a foul.
short. And it looked like there was contact there from Walker
Totally.
Kimbrough. And now complaining.
Well, the biggest thing is not to get a technical, and they give her a technical. That's her third one this season so far, but that's a tough one because there certainly was contact. She went right behind the screen, and she's still a shooter when she comes down.
Teed off, then teed up by Natalie Sago. And Christy Tolliver to shoot the technical. She already got a practice shot in. I don't know if you caught that while everybody was watching Taurasi argue with the referees.
Yeah, Tolliver with 27 points now, but look at, comes across and goes right into Taurasi. Taurasi did not kick her feet out on, that's for sure.
I think she fouled 2 players, Camille Little and Taurasi. She was trying to fight through that screen. Baseline J, down goes Taurasi, and she gets the call this time from Sago. Loose ball foul on Monique Curry. That is number 2 on Curry.
Well, 18 points. The Mercury not putting points on the board, and we talked about it in halftime as far as this Mercury team. Several games they've got 70 points. They're at 59 now. Can they overtake this Mystic team?
And now another call on Monique Curry. Taurasi part of that as well. Washington in the penalty, and free throws coming for Phoenix.
Well, we've said it all game long. 16 of 21 free throws for the Mystics, 8 of 8 for the Mercury just struggling to get to the free throw line.
First time tonight for Dee, who has not missed this season. Now 16 of 16 from the line. You know, she was talking about the inspiration of continuing to play, maybe even until she's into her 40s and knocks the other one down. Said her inspiration has been Manu Ginobili of the Spurs, who has played into his 40s. And
well, Taj McWilliams-Franklin was key to Minnesota playing in her 40s for them to win their first championship.
they have that Argentinian connection, too, because Diana's dad played soccer in Argentina, where he met Diana's mom. 3-point hit from the corner by Hawkins. Tiana Hawkins coming in shooting 46% from far away. Taurasi tries to answer. Tipped out to Tolliver. Hawkins with their double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds. Walker Kimbrough lines it up and knocks it down.
Coming into this game, Sandy Brondello said, look, this is mid-16. They take 33s a game. And
but
as you said, they make 10 a game.
But they don't normally shoot 75% from three-point range like they're doing here tonight. 9 of 12 deep. That is unheard of. 9 of 12 from behind the three-point line. Atkins is 2 of 3. Tolliver's 4 of 6. And then a three-point hit from Walker Kimbrough, Ruffin Pratt, and Hawkins.
Mystics do a nice job bringing the ball up quickly, and they get their players down court quickly. Ruffin Pratt, it's nice to see her back. Tolliver taking a little bit of a rest.
Again, the Mystics shorthanded, not just without Elena Deladon. Taylor Hill out with the ACL injury. Natasha Cloud with the kidney stones.
Well, certainly, as you said, the Mystics making shots, 9 of 12 from three-point range and getting themselves to the free throw line. But this is the Mercury team. They needed to come out. We talked about a lot of energy and the things that they had to do. With their size advantage, they have not taken advantage of that, and give the Mystics credit as far as their defensive schemes.
Some pretty good defense over there by Sandy Brondello. She could still move her feet. She helped force that turnover and make the call. Here comes Taurasi on the push. Diana Taurasi with her third bucket in 8 attempts. 9 points, 4 assists for Taurasi.
Well, we said in that first half she got herself into foul trouble, and she sat and was just really non-existent. And now the fourth quarter coming up, she's ready to take this team on her shoulders.
Taurasi then throws it right off of Ruffin Pratt. Off of the miss. Terrific defense.
Oh, they're saying it's off Taurasi.
Oh, wow. We'll have to take another look at this. She definitely threw it off of Ruffin Pratt, but was out of bounds and possibly.
They're saying she came down on the line before she threw it.
All right, 4 seconds to go. Curry with Griner in her face. No call, and we're headed to the fourth and final quarter. But it was a good one for Washington in that third period, where at one point they led by 22. They are up 18 going to the fourth here in Phoenix, and you're watching Phoenix Mercury basketball, presented by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Washington outscores the Mercury 34-22 in that third quarter. Spend your Friday with the Mercury as they take on the Chicago Sky at 7 p.m. for the first Orange Friday of the year. 5,000 fans in attendance will score orange pom-poms to cheer on the Mercury, so secure your seats now at phoenixmercury.com. A 34-point third quarter for the Mystics. Tolliver is 27. Ariel Atkins with 15, and Tiana Hawkins with their double-double of 10 points and 10 rebounds. Taurasi still complaining about that possession where she was called for being out of bounds.
Well, that's a timing thing. I mean, we've seen players in the game, whether it's on the women's or men's side, that it looks like guys get their foot down before they get that shot up. And that happens all the time. That's a bang-bang call.
6-point lead at the half for Washington. Up 18 to begin the fourth. Bonner, long stride in for the finger roll.
She did a nice job getting around the screen and creating her own shot there.
20 points for DeWanna Bonner. Mentioned sat out all of last season after giving birth to twins last July. She has looked good. 7 of 10 from the field. A couple of threes and perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Over the back call on Crystal Thomas. So Like it or not, after Diana Taurasi complained about a few of those calls, Phoenix starting to get more whistles here.
Well, they're getting the fans into it too. The Mystics did a great job getting the X factor out of this game, and certainly Taurasi bringing the energy and the intensity back into this fourth quarter.
Washington now at a 55% clip shooting. Bonner, straight and sweet for two. That's 22 now for Duana Bonner. Came in averaging 12 points per game. Now going for the steal, one of the top defenders in the league. Helps force the turnover. 2-on-1 breakout. Bonner waits, gives it over to Breon January. Phoenix couldn't take advantage of a 2-on-1, and they need points in a hurry. Oh, that's a tough opportunity to let slip through your hands. Griner, that's one of her go-to shots, so the Mercury still come away with two. And they cut the lead to 12. Quick timeout called by Mike Tebow. Strong start to the fourth quarter for Phoenix. Nothing start for Phoenix here in the fourth quarter to cut the lead to 12. And for every Brittany Griner block this season, Avis, the official lock partner of the Phoenix Mercury, will donate $50 to Phoenix Children's Hospital. To learn more, go to phoenixmercury.com/promotions today. Griner with one block so far tonight. She has a hoop here in the fourth quarter and then 4 from Bonner. So those 6 points, cutting that lead to 12.
Now, a lot of it has to do with the defensive end. They've picked up the intensity.
Taurasi in that defensive crouch. Now it's Bonner tracking Atkins. Shot clock inside of 10. Atkins crossing over. Knocked away from behind by Bonner. Washington will still have it with 6 on the clock. And that wingspan of Duana Bonner. Atkins thought she had a step on Duana. Able to poke it away. And now Atkins to inbound. Mystics looking for their first points of the fourth quarter, and an offensive foul. Phoenix will get it back as Bonner was tossed out of bounds.
Now Bonner knocked the ball away, and then Bonner, good defensive position, forcing Atkins to just run right into her.
That's an excellent defensive play by Duana Bonner. It was one of those players that Brondello can call on to slow down the other team's top scorer.
Doing a better job setting some screens.
Ooh. And there's another foul on Washington, this time the rookie, Hines Allen, bouncing off of Taurasi.
No, Hines Allen did not bounce. Taurasi bounced.
Right. Good point. Thank you for correcting me on that. Hines Allen didn't move. Diana Taurasi's neck snapped back. Body went flying, and out goes Hines Allen. She's not played much here tonight. Griner backing down and gets the friendly bounce in Phoenix. 23 for Brittany Griner.
Down to 10.
8-0 Phoenix here in the fourth. Tolliver creating. Atkins. Rare miss from three-point range. Washington was 9 of 13 from far away before that miss. Taurasi on the move along the baseline, offensive foul. And she is irate.
She's got to watch herself. She cannot get thrown out of this game.
Sandy Brondello sprinting to midcourt to protest. Washington still unable to score as of yet here in the fourth. Tolliver, who had an opening, now covered up by January. Tiana Hawkins in a switch, covered by Breon January. Snuffed out by Taurasi. Phoenix has it, and a foul in the backcourt, and now Taurasi mixing it up with Hawkins a little bit. Phoenix has definitely dialed up the heat defensively.
No, it's Diana Taurasi. She came in the second half. That third quarter, she started turning things on, and it's been on the defensive end. Yeah, she's knocked down a 3, but it's been her defense that has just really inspired this Mercury team and also the X Factor.
8-0 so far here in the fourth. And remember, it was Phoenix that melted down in their last game in LA in the fourth quarter, scoring only 7 points. That one a little short for Taurasi. Hawkins over the top, ripped it away from Bonner.
But at least the Mercury had some players down low to get an offensive rebound.
Tolliver, the main scorer on the floor right now, and draws the contact. They say going up for the shot. So a chance at the first points of the fourth quarter for Washington as Christy Tolliver heads to the line, where she has hit all 3 of her free throws. Washington 16 of 21 from the line. The Mercury have knocked down all 12 of their free throws,
but have not been to the line enough.
92% free throw shooter Christy Tolliver came in 12 of 13 from the line, now 4 of 4 here tonight.
Now, Tolliver's career high is 43 back in 2015 against Tulsa.
Nearing 30 points as she has 29 now for Washington. Lead is back to 12. Phoenix down 18 to begin the quarter. Shaved the lead down to 10. 6.5 to go. Grazi loops it inside Griner to an open three-point shooter, Dewana Bonner. Talked earlier about her struggles from distance coming into this game. Just 2 of 19 from three-point range. Bonner, though, 2 of 5 tonight. Ruffin Pratt backs it up on Camille Little, rises up and drills it. Terrific shot by Tiara Ruffin Pratt. She was able to create that space, and more importantly for Washington, comes away with the turnover.
Live turnovers.
Their lead is 14. Trying to make it 17 was Tolliver. Bonner hesitation move, and then an offensive foul as Camille Little was setting a screen. Down went Ariel Atkins, and up pops head coach Sandy Brondello.
You know, we mentioned earlier in the game, Tom, about the Mercury having 10 turnovers in the fourth quarter against the Sparks the other night. And we're seeing the Mercury a few times getting these turnovers, live and dead balls, is not helping their cause.
Yeah, they had all the momentum in the world. Pulled to within 10. 8-0 scoring surge to begin the fourth, but back has come Washington. Answering that run by Phoenix. Scoring the last 4. Atkins. Face up on Bonner. And the southpaw nails it. 3-point hit for the rookie. She has 18. And the lead is back to 17.
They have had several players, the Mystics, as far as give them any kind of daylight.
That ends a 7-0 run by Washington. The hoop for Brittany Griner.
Good penetration by Taurasi.
25 now for Brittany on 12 of 15 shooting. And then a little minor contact out high, and the foul goes on Crystal Thomas.
No, on Taurasi.
Oh, excuse me, on Taurasi. Second team foul on Phoenix. Washington with 3. And for Taurasi, remember, she picked up the 3 early fouls in this game. She now has 5. That is her 5th personal foul.
With 9 points.
Yeah, but like you said, she has spearheaded the defense. Crystal Thomas, terrific catch, and the follow by Ariel Atkins. The rookie is everywhere.
Well, Sancho a little upset about that, but, you know, the Mercury just have to play. I mean, they've got to try and get some runs going again.
20 now for Ariel Atkins. Free for 3, Taurasi comes off, and Atkins with the board. Ariel Atkins, 7 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 deep, 3 of 4 at the line, complementing the 29 points from Tolliver. Hawkins gets a step on Sancho Little, bucket and 1. Well, credit this Mystics team, without their leading scorer, having an answer for the Phoenix Mercury here in the fourth.
Well, Hawkins just seeing daylight, and you see Brittany Griner coming over there again with that right arm instead of the left arm, which would have given her body better positioning. But the Mystics doing a good job getting inside, getting themselves to the free throw line, out-rebounding the Mercury by 11 right now.
Tiana Hawkins, 13 points, 12 rebounds, and the lead is back to 20, just like that. After Phoenix had shaved the lead down to 10, Mystics back up by 20. Good look for Breon January, who has been money from three-point range this season. Actually, pretty much throughout her career. January, 3 hoops, all three-pointers. A couple of free throws. She's in double figures with 11. Atkins. And now we're going to timeout called by Washington as Ariel Atkins was suffocated by the Phoenix defense, and we'll take the timeout with 3:43 to go. Washington on their way to a 5-1 start this season. Washington in control here in the fourth. Shot clock at 5 for Hawkins. Ruffin Pratt went to the locker room earlier and now downs the shot and will head to the line at a chance at a three-point play. Boy, I was shocked to see her come back. She was down on the floor for a number of minutes after taking a shot to the head from Brittany Griner. Back on the floor, and this was a difficult shot.
Yeah, going to her left, and Taurasi getting called for contact down low. Ruffin Pratt still kind of holding both ears. And Hawkins a career high 12 rebounds. Atkins a career high 20 points and shooting 7 of 11 from the floor. Ruffin Pratt 10 of 16 from the floor. Or I should say that's Tolliver. Ruffin Pratt 4 of 8 from the floor. But they have had contribution by everybody on this Mystics team.
And ready to break that drought. Washington not having won here in Phoenix since 2010, losing their last 8 games to the Mercury in Phoenix. Bonner straight away. And it drops for Dewana Bonner, who's had herself an excellent game, 25 points. Knocks down her third 3 of the night, but the lead is still 17. Nearing the 3-minute mark. Washington can now start to milk the clock. Mitchell in pursuit of Tolliver, crosses over, gets into the lane, trying to set up Thomas, but it goes out of bounds. Turnover, Washington. 56% shooting from the floor for Washington, but an amazing 63% from three-point range, 10 of 16.
And the Mercury have shot 50% from the floor and 100% from the free throw line, but as you said, how well the Mystics have been shooting the ball, especially three-point range.
And the free throw line, 20 free throw hits. Leilani Mitchell drains it. Three-point shot for Leilani. It's a +8 in the free throw department as far as makes go. And then 2 more threes. And it's just shooting at such an efficient rate. And Phoenix was right there, knocking on the door, pulled it within 10, had all the momentum, but then a couple of live turnovers. Taurasi's not out on the floor now is Washington with 2:15 to go. In command, Bonner for 3. That could have made things interesting.
A foul on Sancho Little.
Loose ball foul, and Breon January right in the face of the official Natalie Sago, and still vehemently protesting. And we're going to get a timeout. Mitchell will step over.
A technical on Sandy Brondon.
Space right out here at Talking Stick Resort Arena about 15 minutes ago. He's been spending a lot of time out on the floor near midcourt.
But Ariel Atkins, her debut starting for the Mystics on the road against the Mercury, and what a debut she's had.
And following up the 18 points she had last night in Seattle, but misfires on the first free throw.
Well, looking at the kind of player she is, she's going to have career highs in a lot of these games this year.
No doubt about it. 7th overall pick in the first round. She is a gem for the Mystics. Mercury led by Bonner and Griner, each with 25. Breon January, who has 11, got it over to Little inside. Griner setting up shop and foul from behind by Crystal Thomas with 2:02 to go.
Well, the Mercury do have 38 points in the paint, and Griner is 12 of 15 from the floor, but this is still not going to the free throw line. She is 1 of 1. We mentioned earlier when she got to the line in that first quarter that's a big part of her game, is trying to get to the free throw line.
That was the 4th team foul on Washington. Phoenix will be in the bonus rest of the way, as Washington has been. Griner, awkward shot as she turned in the lane, but still connects and has 27 points on 13 of 16 shooting. 14-point Mystics lead. Using that shot clock. Tolliver finds a seam, working around the perimeter. And wide open is Ruffin Pratt, who sticks the three, and a timeout call by Sandy Brondello. That flushed out any comeback attempt for Phoenix.
Why?
Another three-point hit for the Washington Mystics, who are 11 of 17 from three-point range. That is 65%.
Make things happen on the defensive end and just couldn't sustain it. She got in foul trouble. And what the Mystics have done, though, they're so athletic, and we talked about small ball, that the Mercury have had a tough time defending them, and they've gotten inside, and the rotation defensively has just really been a difficult situation for the Mercury. And Marie Gulich into the game now for Brittany Griner, who's probably done for the night.
Be there to watch the Mercury take on the Las Vegas Aces June 17th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, courtesy of Effin Vodka. Enter to win now at phoenixmercury.com/promotions. A bucket for the rookie, Marie Gulich. Tipped away from behind by Bonnie Turner. Lob feed inside. Sancho Little puts it in, and it's a 13-point game. Mitchell in pursuit. Ruffin Pratt nearly creates another live turnover. A minute to go. Ariel Atkins, the poised rookie, one-on-one against Gulich on an island and comes up short. Rebound knocked around, retrieved by Leilani Mitchell. 4 reserves on the floor for Phoenix. The only starter is Sancho Little. Turner, jab step, star on the Hungarian team during the offseason. Sancho Little puts it in and one. Clock stops, 36.9 to go, and it's an 11-point game. Maybe too little too late, but for Sancho Little, it's been a struggle offensively, coming off that 20-point game in LA against the Sparks, but a chance at a three-point play as she dug in down deep for the putback.
Well, it's nice to see a few times possessions for the Mercury to have somebody underneath offensively. We saw Marie Gulich get an offensive rebound, and now Sancho Little. And Little with 6 rebounds.
Walker Kimbrough bringing it up the floor. Now pulling it back is Ruffin Pratt. Walker Kimbrough. And now the rookie, Hines Allen. Turns, fires, wide right. Phoenix possibly with this one final offensive push. Back cut for Stephanie Talbot. She puts it in, but Washington is going to improve to 5-1. Top records in the league right now. Seattle's 4-1, Connecticut 3-0, but Tebow and the Mystics, they break the jinx here in Phoenix, had not won here since 2010, and it was an impressive victory for Washington. A big third quarter when they scored 34 points, built a 22-point lead. Phoenix came back. They were within 10 in the fourth quarter, but things unraveled once again, despite 27 points from Griner, 25 from Dewana Bonner. Tolliver leads all scorers with 30, and then the rookie, Ariel Atkins, 21 points, a double-double for Tiana Hawkins.
Yeah, Sandy Brondello still waiting for that 100th win, and now they go on that road against Minnesota, Atlanta, New York. And that's a tough road trip, and certainly the Mercury are going to have to play better defensively, and they've got to make shots. They've got to make some adjustments right now.
Starts Friday against the Lynx on the road. Next up now for the Mystics, they continue their road trip on Friday against the Las Vegas Aces. 103-95 is your final here from